A lot of people assume I was a nerd growing up, which is offensive, unfair, untrue. I was not a nerd. Nerds had other nerds to play Dungeons and Dragons with, people to hang out with. I was a spazzy weirdo. We're our own thing. I moved here recently. I moved from San Francisco. When I tell people I'm from San Francisco, the response is the same. It's always, oh, San Francisco. That's a nice city, but pretty gay, right? And I understand why people think that. I don't understand why they say it out loud. Here's the thing, though. I've looked up the statistics, and San Francisco is only 25% gay. So that's 1 out of every 4 people. So that's like saying, oh, you like the Beatles? Yeah, they're pretty good, but why are they all Ringo? And it just feels like every one of them is just Ringo, Ringo, Ringo. They're so in your face about it. I'm not a lesbian. I know I have to say that in order for people to know it. But I consider myself an ally, you know, and I've noticed that there are a lot of ways in which gay men and gay women are treated very differently by society. Like a lot of times when people do impressions of gay men, there's a very specific voice that they use. It's almost like an accent or a cadence, if you would. But there's no such voice for lesbians, right? There's no lesbian accent. And I think that's weird. And I think it's unfair. I think there needs to be one. And I've been thinking about it. I think, hear me out, I think it should be a really bad fake French accent. Because how great would that be if one day your teenage daughter sat you down and was just like, Mom, Dad, I have something to tell you. Tell you a little bit about me. I was not a very cool kid growing up. I'm not a cool adult, it just doesn't matter anymore. A lot of people assume I was a nerd growing up, which is offensive, unfair, untrue. I was not a nerd. Nerds had other nerds to play Dungeons and Dragons with, people to hang out with. I was a spazzy weirdo. We're our own thing. Kind of the bad boys of the general loser community. All of the alienation, none of the brains. I couldn't find anyone that was into the stuff I was into as a kid. I'll give you an example. When I was 11, my dad made me scrambled eggs for breakfast one morning, and I said, "This is amazing, what's in this?" And he said, "Oregano." So naturally, I took a small tub of oregano, and I taped a string to it, and I wore it as a necklace every day to school for 3 months. And because I'm from San Francisco, my parents just let me do that. They were just like, go on out into the world, be free, follow your heart. Who are we to stop you? Who are you to stop me? You're actually the only people who can. It's kind of part of your job, right? Just to give me a once over before I leave the house, make sure there's no trash dangling from my body. You're dropping the ball. I was like, this is cool, right? I'm the Oregano Girl now. You all better pick a spice because oregano is spoken for. I think what I'm trying to say is it took me a really long time to lose my virginity. That's the point of that story, I think. It's not like I want to be single forever. I just really like to say that I want to be single forever in front of my married friends because they hate that. Oh my God, they hate that so much. There's always one of them who'll condescend to me about it. He'll be like, come on, single forever? You don't know that. You can't know that. You can't know that you're gonna want something forever. I'm like, oh my God, that is an amazing point. No, you're right. That would be stupid of me to say that I know I'm gonna want something forever in my 20s. God, the only thing that I could think of that might be stupider would be spending $50,000 to say it in front of everyone I know. If you're married and that offends you, I'm sorry. Here's what I recommend. Go home, hug your spouse. Know that I will not be doing that because Netflix does not have arms. Although if they know their clientele, they are working on it, right? I kind of think Donald Trump is like the Air Bud of American politics. But I also think Air Bud was the villain of that movie. Right? Because imagine for a moment that you are one of the kids on the other basketball team. Right? You're one of the kids who has to play basketball against a golden retriever in front of your parents. You're just a kid who loves basketball, right? You've been practicing basketball. You know the rules of basketball. You showed up to the gym that day expecting to play another child at basketball. That was Hillary Clinton, right? She was just like, put me in, coach, for the last 20 years. And we finally did. And as soon as we did, this fucking fluffy dog who has no business on the court comes running out, distracting everybody. He doesn't know the rules. He can't know the rules. He is a dog. He's traveling like crazy. Where's the ref? And everyone's just fine with it because there's nothing in the rule book that says a pumpkin-headed racist can't be president. Let's write more rules, maybe. How about that? That seems like a pretty obvious fix. Also, I should say, I have not seen Air Bud.